welcome to the newest episode of The Bearded Gamer Show. As always, I'm your host, The Bearded Gamer, Chris Arnone. Now, you probably noticed I don't have a cool, nerdy t-shirt on today. What can I say? The Bearded Gamer has to hold down a real job and had a wardrobe malfunction this morning and forgot to bring a change of clothes. But hey, I'm still awesome, doesn't matter what I'm wearing. Let's get into good news, bad news. So first up this week, got some good news, okay? Now, GameStop has recently said they are seriously considering opening an online store for vintage games, all right? Their CEO even came out and started talking about it a little bit, saying that they have an inventory. They see that there's a market, especially they look at eBay and look at all sorts of other things, and they're currently just working out the details of sort of refurbishing and restoring and distribution. I mean, when you're dealing with classic consoles and cartridges and stuff, there's just so much more sort of tech support that goes on. I mean, I just, ran the gaming rooms from Otaku, and there was so much a higher level of technology knowledge required to run the retro room with that variety of old consoles compared to the new stuff. So I do understand where they're coming from with that. But, really cool. I mean, in Kansas City, we've got vintage stock, so we've kind of got a good outlet for vintage games. But I think, on that national level that GameStop could have, that's pretty sweet. Some bad news. Now, I only got one piece of bad news this time around. Now, from Satoru Iwata's personal Twitter account, his official Twitter account. This is the head honcho of Nintendo. He was saying the Wii U details will not be announced in a press conference. Now, this is a little confusing to all of us. Now, they just had this Nintendo Direct sort of web conference thing where they talked about a whole bunch of 3DS stuff. It was pretty much all sort of Japanese focused. We also know there is an actual Nintendo press conference in New York City, September 13th. Now, we'd all pretty much assumed, you're finally going to give us info on the Wii. But now with you saying that, I'm going, well, so is this just going to be sort of a Western version of what we got with Nintendo Direct with just a bunch of 3DS stuff? When are we getting this information? How is this going to happen? Are they going to do another Nintendo Direct for the Wii U information? Is it actually going to launch this year? You got to even wonder that. Now, a lot of rumors that kind of slipped out, it's just a rumor though, is that it's going to launch November 18th, 1 week before Black Friday. But like I said, that's just a rumor. We have no concrete details on that. I'm really starting to worry about this complete lack of information we're getting right now. It's a little disconcerting with, such a big investment. People are trying to figure out sort of their holiday budgets. What can I afford to buy? What can I afford to buy my loved ones? The sooner we get this info, the better. All right, some good news. It's a little bit of good news. Bastion has now hit the iPad. So, it's an awesome game. Don't get me wrong. I have it on 360. I have it on PC. It's over a year old. But I swear it was like the only thing people could talk about earlier this week is Bastion's on the iPad. Bastion's on the iPad. How have you not already played this game like 3 times? It's on the iPad, great. So it's kind of portable in that it's on a device that's barely smaller than my girlfriend's MacBook Air, but cool? But still, if all you own is an iPad, go buy Bastion. It's a great game. Some more good news. Now, y'all know how much I love Borderlands 2. I'm looking forward to Borderlands 2 so much. Well, they have announced they're going to have 4 DLC packs, all by June of next year, and each one of those is going to be $10 a piece. That's cool. We knew they were going to support with some DLC. But the extra good news, they're going to have a season pass. You can pay $30 and get all 4 packs. That's a 25% discount if you're going to get all of them together. And I absolutely hate the online pass, love the season pass. If there's a game you love and you cannot wait for the DLC, and you really want a lot of the DLC, you can save a bundle by buying it all at once. It's an awesome way to go and really, help sell that. And I think it's a good thing for the publishers too, is, you're spending $30. It's sort of like guaranteeing you're buying at least 3 and here's the 4th one free. Works wonders. So, finish off with some really awesome good news. So the EA president, Frank Gibeau, I think that's how you pronounce his name, was talking about the next-gen consoles. Now, he teased people a while back saying he has seen the next-gen Xbox and PlayStation. Of course, he's under NDA. He can't really say much. But recently, he did another interview, and I'm going to read a direct quote here. He said, "The new hardware is going to be coming out in about a year's time. And we're right around this period in time when the market's going to slow down, and then you have a new game changer coming in with all new technology, all new hardware, and another growth period." All right, so that's it. He said in about a year. So that's pretty much as close as we can get to true confirmation that yes, next year we're getting a new Xbox and a new PlayStation. Now, he also went on to say that he's very excited. EA is very excited for the new hardware. It's a big deal for them. Like he said, when you get to the end of a console's life cycle, I mean, look at the dearth of games for the Wii right now. No one cares. They're all moved on to the Wii U. And this does sort of start to happen. Once the new technology is out there, developers start looking at that new tech. And with every new project they're coming up with, they got to think, do I go current gen? Do I go next gen? And there's going to be that breaking point. We're going to be a big swing, and you're not going to see much coming for the current consoles. That's why I think we've seen a lot of delays into the spring, is there's a lot of people saying, well, we got to finish up this game, but it's either this holiday or the spring, and that's it. Because after that, you're going to be a generation behind, and that's always going to have some sales issues when you're selling a game that's a generation behind. But it also shows, I think, a very good thing that Sony has no plans to fall a year behind Microsoft like they did with the PlayStation 3. They've been playing catch-up the whole time because of that. And I think, obviously, they learned a lesson. And he says both of them are planning to launch in about a year's time. So it's going to be an expensive year for us gamers next year. And I tell you what, this is as close to a definitive announcement as we're probably going to get until E3 next year. That does it for the news this time. Controller Confessional.